Hello children, welcome back to e-learning classes of P.N.AMERSEY High School. Hope you all are safe. So children, today we'll start the new chapter number 5 of our supplementary reader, Princess September. This chapter is not in Honeydew textbook. It is of supplementary reader. It so happen. So it's really very interesting story of Princess September. You won't get any of the PDF of this story or chapter. So pay attention and listen the story well so that you can write down the answers of your own. Children, let's begin the story. The king and queen of Siam had many daughters, and the queen said it confused her to have to remember so many names. So the king decided to call them January, February, March till he came to the youngest, whom he called September. And what happened? There is a king and a queen of Siam. Siam is the name of the place. They had many daughters. So they got confused with their name, how to remember so many names. So they decided to keep their daughter's name according to the months of the year. So the youngest daughter, who is ninth daughter of them, they called her September. The king of Siam had a peculiar habit. Instead of receiving gifts on his birthday, he used to give gifts to his daughters and others. So one day what happened on his birthday, as he had nothing handy to give to others, means to his daughters, he gave a green parrot in a golden cage to each of the princes. The princes were really very happy and they were proud of their parrots. They spent much time, an hour every day, teaching them to talk. After a long time of practice, parrots could say, "God save the king," and some could say, "Pretty Polly." Here we can see that princes are really very happy with their parrots and they started teaching them how to talk. After a long period of practice, they could say, "God save the king" and "Pretty Polly." What happened, children? One day when this Princess September went to say good morning to her parrot, she found it lying dead at the bottom of this golden cage. Means her parrot was no more. He found that the parrot was lying on the bottom of the cage and she was really very sad. She burst into the flood of tears and nothing that her maids of honor could say comforted her. Children, what happened here? Princess September's parrot is no more. The parrot is dead and she is really very upset and sad for her parrot. Nothing gives comfort to her. She is not able to forget her parrot. She cried a lot. She cried so much that maids, they don't know what to do, and they told the queen about all these things. Queen felt that it was all nonsense and the princess should go to bed without any supper. Means she will not get any dinner and she should go to the bed without any food. That day, maids were really very busy. They have to go somewhere for the party, so they sent the princess to the bed. Supper means the last meal of the day. As she was lying in her bed, she saw that a little bird hopped into her room. She wiped her tears and sat up. Then the little bird began to sing, and he sang a beautiful song all about the lake in the king's garden, the willow trees, the still water, goldfish, and everything in the king's garden. When he had finished, the princess was not crying anymore, and she quite forgot that she had no supper. That was a very nice song, she said. Listening to the princess, the little bird bowed down and asked her as she can keep the bird as her pet. Little princess in September was really very happy to have that beautiful bird as her pet. Now she wanted to show this pet to her 8 sisters. As the sisters saw the bird, all were really very happy to see. They were surprised and delighted to hear the songs. The princess took her bird to the king and queen. King said, "This bird sings much better than the parrots." Said he was really tired of listening same words from the parrots. Now he can enjoy the song sung by this bird. Listening to their father means listening to the king. Other princes were really very worried and jealous of Princess September. But Princess September ran through all the rooms of the palace singing like a lark, while the little bird flew round and round her singing like a nightingale. One day, as because of their jealousy, they went to September and told her that they are feeling very sad because her parrot is no more. They will buy a new parrot to Princess September. As they look around her room, they found that the little bird was not there in the room. They asked Princess September, "Where is your bird?" Princess said, "The bird has gone out for a visit to his father in law." Here listen, when the bird is not in the room, the other princess got chance to make Princess September worry about her bird. They told her that how do you think that the bird will come back? It may not come back. Princess September was sure that the bird will come back, but the sister said when it comes back, you send the bird to the cage. Otherwise, the bird will leave you one day and will never come back. These words made Princess September really very worried about her bird. Thought that if the bird will go someday and will never come back, what will happen of me? Now Princess September is really worried about her bird. She wished he were safely back again. Suddenly September heard a tweet tweet just behind her ear, and she saw that the little bird sitting on her shoulder. He had come in so quietly and alighted so softly that she had not heard him. She put up her hand, took hold of the bird. The bird suspected nothing and was so surprised when she carried him over to the cage, popped him in, and shut the door on him that of the moment he could think of nothing to say. He said, "What a joke! Why you are sending me or popping me into the cage?" Princess said that Mama's cats are prowling about tonight, so it is safer for you to be in the cage. Now this bird thought that the bird will come out in the morning. So he had the supper and tried to sing, but in the middle of the song it stopped. He cannot sing. He said, "I don't know what's wrong with me, but it is not easy for me to sing in the cage." Next morning, the bird woke up early in the morning and shouted, "Let me out of the cage, let me out of the cage," but he was not. Other princess came to the September and told her that she was quite wise to do this thing. The bird understood that he has to be in the cage for the long life. Now the bird used to sing no more. Even he stopped eating food and became very weak. Next day when she got up and she wished good morning to the bird, but no reply came. She gave a startled cry, for that the little bird was lying down on the bottom of the cage. She was really worried about the bird, that the bird is dead or what. She opened the cage and took the bird out. She felt relief as she found that the little heart was still beating. She understood the problem. She realized that it was not good of her to keep that bird in the cage. She allowed the bird to fly outside, fly in the open sky. She said that I love you enough to let you be happy in your own way. She threw open the window and gently placed the little bird on the sill. He shook himself a little. The bird said, "I'll come back as I love you, little princess." Princess September was kind-hearted. She grew as a very beautiful and was old enough. She married the king of Cambodia and was carried on a white elephant all the way to the city in which the king lived. The sisters, they were not kind-hearted. They could not sleep well, and they grew extremely ugly as well as disagreeable. And when the time came to marry them off, they were given away to the king's counselors, a pound of tea and a Siamese cat. So children, let's have a look to the story once again so that you can understand the story clearly. So children, this is chapter number 5 and the story of Princess September, which is written by Somerset Maugham. This story is about a princess and her singing bird. The king and queen of Siam had 9 daughters. They named the daughters after the month, the year, so the king could remember their names easily. Every year on his birthday, the king presented his daughters with gifts. One year he gave each princess a parrot in a golden cage. The princes taught their parrots to say, "God save the king." Some parrots even said "Pretty Polly" in 7 different languages. One day the parrot belonging to the youngest princess died. She became very sad. When Princess September woke up in the next morning, she found a beautiful bird in her room. The bird sang a beautiful song for her. The bird promised to stay with the princess and sing her beautiful songs. Princess September proudly showed the little singing bird to her 8 sisters and her parents. The bird sang a different song for each of her sisters as well as for her parents. Both the king and the queen thought that the bird was much better than the parrots. This made the 8 princes unhappy and jealous. One day, the 8 sisters told Princess September that they wanted to gift her a parrot. When Princess September refused the gift, they advised her to cage the singing bird in case he decided to fly away and never return. Princess September got carried away and fooled the singing bird into stepped inside the cage. Once inside the cage, the bird could not sing and soon he stopped eating. He begged Princess September to set him free. One morning, Princess September found the bird lying still in the cage. Fearing he was dead, she brought him out of the cage. When her tears fell on the bird, he opened his eyes. He told the princess that he could not sing if he was caged, and if he could not sing, he would die. She set him free because she loved him and wanted him to be happy. The bird flew away with the promise to return and sing her beautiful songs. The princess' sisters made fun of her and told her the singing bird would never return. But the bird returned and sang her new songs. Princess September kept her window open always so that the bird could come and go at will. Her large-heartedness made her very beautiful, and she got married to the king of Cambodia. Because her sisters were jealous and cunning, they grew ugly and were married off to the king's counselors. Children, hope you all enjoyed the story of Princess September and her 8 sisters. You will not get any of the PDF of this story. You have to write down the answers of your own. I'll send you the next story in the next video. Till then, stay safe. Thank you and have a nice day.